Let's start off this broadcast with getting you the overall figures as far as coronavirus is concerned in India. Let's start off with the active cases on your screens. A matter of concern still, although the numbers are down, it's a matter of concern. 7,02,887 still, so you cannot let your guard down. As far as the death tally in India is concerned, let's get you the latest figures that are coming in from the Health Ministry. Here you go. 3 lakh, I beg your pardon, 88,135 as of today. And let's get you the number of recoveries too. The number looks quite promising. The recovery figures stand at 2,88,44,199. And let's get you an encapsulation too of the active cases, deaths and recoveries. The focus is on active cases and hence one can't let their guard down. India's next phase of vaccination policy kicks off from today, with the centre taking full control of India's vaccination drive from states. Home Minister Amit Shah is in Ahmedabad to personally review the preparations. Under the new phase of vaccination program, centre is now going to be providing free vaccines to everyone above the age of 18. People above 18 will be allowed to get jabs at vaccination centres without prior registering on the CoWIN app. Pre-registration is no longer mandatory, as all the government and private vaccination centres would provide on-site registration. This after the centre took over the vaccine procurement announced by Prime Minister on the 7th of this month in a national address. Centre is now going to be procuring 75% of the jabs manufactured by the vaccine makers. However, private hospitals will continue to buy 25% of the total vaccine stock. Central government has also capped the vaccine prices across the country. Private hospitals are allowed to charge up to a maximum of 150 rupees per dose.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय लिया था कि 21 जून से आज से पूरे देश भर में 18 और उससे ऊपर के आयु वर्ग के सभी लोगों को केंद्र सरकार की ओर से निःशुल्क टीका लगाया जाएगा.
Listen to what Prime Minister Modi had said on free vaccination.
2 सप्ताह बाद 21 जून को ही अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस भी है. 21 जून सोमवार से देश के हर राज्य में 18 वर्ष से ऊपर की उम्र के सभी नागरिकों के लिए भारत सरकार राज्यों को मुफ्त वैक्सीन मुहैया कराएगी.
Walk-in vaccinations for anybody above the age of 18 years has started in the country. In Mumbai, the situation is a little different. Here, people in the age group of 30 to 44 has been allowed since Monday to walk in at the vaccination centers and take vaccinations. Online slot for this age group is also available. It was since May that the 18 to 44 age group had started, but after an interval of more than 1 month in Mumbai, the vaccination for the age group of 30 and 44 has started. It has been divided 50% in online slots and 50% walk-in bookings. Many beneficiaries are saying that they have had a long wait, but now finally are getting their jabs. With camera person Mangesh Ambre, Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai for India Today.
Akshita Nandagopal shed some more light on centre's new vaccine policy. Take a look.
And let's explain to you exactly what the new vaccine policy is all about. Essentially, the centre has completely taken over the vaccination drive from states. Free vaccines will be provided for all adults, all those above the age of 18, at government hospitals. So for this, the centre will be procuring 75% of the vaccine doses from the manufacturers. 25%, which was a state vaccine quota, that comes to an end. It's only the centre that will deal with the vaccination drive. However, I told you that 75% the centre can procure. What about the rest of the 25% doses? Private hospitals can buy that from the manufacturers. Also, private hospitals will charge for vaccinations, but the price has been capped with 150 rupees as the charge that can be charged by a private hospital. That's the maximum. Walk-in vaccination is also allowed now, which means that you don't have to log into the CoWIN platform and register beforehand. You can directly go to a vaccination center and get yourself registered on site.
As cases continue to dip, more restrictions have been lifted in Delhi. Here in the national capital, the Delhi Disaster Management Authority issued a notification on Sunday that read that all the restaurants are now going to be open with 50% capacity from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Bars and lounges are going to be open at 50% capacity from noon to 10. In this phase of unlock, parks, gardens, golf clubs will also reopen. However, schools, colleges and other educational institutions are going to remain shut. Gyms, theatres, swimming pools, stadiums will also remain shut. Social, religious and political gatherings are still prohibited. So let's now get you what is allowed and what is not if you live in the national capital as Delhi unlocks. Let's bring that on your screens. What's allowed? Bars and lounges, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can go to a bar, you can go to a lounge, but between this time with 50% capacity. What else is allowed? You can go to a market and mall from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restaurants are allowed, again with 50% seating capacity, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can go have a dinner at a restaurant. Wedding at home is allowed. 20 guests only, you can do a wedding at home. Metros and buses have started plying, but again with 50% capacity, and that's what's allowed. Autos and taxis too, with just 2 passengers in. Private offices, again, allowed to be open, but again, with 50% capacity. Parks and gardens, that's the good news, is open. You can go for a jog, you can go for a morning walk, so you can go to the parks, you can go to the gardens. Finally, Delhi can do all of this because the numbers are decreasing. But make sure, no, you do not let your guard down. As we showed you earlier as well, the active cases in the country are still quite high. India is seeing increasing cases of post-COVID symptoms, also known as long COVID. These are newer symptoms that recovered patients are reporting, and it is mounting the challenge for doctors who are still trying to understand the perils of COVID. They say the infection is here for a long haul, for a longer time. Here's more.
Fatigued for months after recovery from COVID, feel brain-fogged and zoned out all the time. Well, these are some common complaints that are coming in from people who are infected. Actor Malaika Arora is one of them.
I just feel nothing is happening. I just feel my body just refuses to respond to anything and everything. Yoga helped me later. During COVID, I was not able to do much. I was too weak to do anything, although they tell you, you should do a bit of breathing and all of that. I was in no condition because I was just too weak to do anything.
Bollywood star Bhumi Pednekar echoes Malaika's sentiments. She says, and I quote, "I feel like COVID has eaten up all my strength." But doctors are not surprised. They have warned that COVID-19 has a lingering impact. It puts patients at risk long after the virus has left the body.
With my digestion, I think a lot of elimination of certain food products and groups is what I'm trying to do now. I've taken some dietitian's advice and I'm working it on in my routine. But I really don't know what's going on. I know that I'm not 100%, and I might take a long while to get better and feel my 100% again.
In fact, COVID is leaving no organ untouched in the body. The Indian Council of Medical Research says if a person has symptoms 4 to 12 weeks after testing negative for COVID, it should be treated as a post-COVID syndrome. If after 12 weeks symptoms continue, the patient should go for an RT-PCR test. If positive, it means they have been reinfected. But if negative, it should be treated as long COVID.
Even after coming back from hospital, the problem was that breathlessness remained. Even going from one room to another room was a problem. Secondly, all the memories were vertical. There was no coherent, correlation between one memory to another. So, for example, if I'm reading a newspaper and there is something in that, then I will not be able to relate to whether I was having a tea or where I was sitting.
Patients with these long COVID presents with various symptoms. They can come to you with cognitive difficulties, which is called as brain fog. Patients may have anxiety, they may have depression, they may have tingling, numbness, they may have loss of taste and smell, which is persistent for a very long time. There can be persistent fever, sore throat, dry cough.
Doctors say more severe symptoms might also mean post-COVID thrombosis.
There are some blood tests which can be done, like D-dimer, to see whether there is any susceptibility to develop clotting in their vascular system. In those patients, they have to take certain drugs which are called anticoagulant drugs for a period of 3-4 weeks to prevent the attack of what we call thrombosis or deep vein thrombosis or pulmonary embolism or such type of diseases.
Secondary infections also make recovered COVID patients more vulnerable.
The 4 most common complications in the lungs of the patients who recovered from COVID that we encounter are, first of all, secondary infections. These secondary infections could be viral in origin, could be because of certain bacteria, especially the drug-resistant ones. They could be because of tuberculosis or due to fungal infections. Fungal, we all know, could be aspergillus or mucormycosis. Mucormycosis is also being labeled as black fungus, which is a misnomer actually.
Doctors in Delhi say they are seeing 25 to 30 patients on a daily basis who have post-COVID complications. From fever to lung fibrosis, the complications are leaving doctors flummoxed. Studies suggest that even asymptomatic patients are developing long COVID. Well, doctors advise caution. Plan, prioritize and not get back to work aggressively. That's the word of caution. Well, after recovery, still follow COVID-appropriate behavior and avoid crowds. Listen to your body and take help when needed. Sleep hygiene is important. Good nutrition and deep breathing may help you. In some cases, physiotherapy also helps. Clearly, the infection has a long haul. With inputs from Sonali Acharji, Sneha Mordani in Delhi for India Today.